Hello, today I'll be covering ratios and rates. To start off with ratios, we'll give an example. There are 3 men and 2 women in my family. That means the ratio of men to women is 3 men to 2 women. This is one way a ratio can be represented in words, 3 to 1. Another way it can be represented is with a colon, 3 to 2. And then even another way it can be represented is as a fraction, 3 over 2. So there are 3 ways to represent a ratio. So for example 1, convert the ratio to a fraction. So all you do is you take 8 over 5. Example 2, write each ratio in simplest form. So you can choose if you want to leave it in a ratio, a colon, or a fraction form. The easiest way I think to write it in simplest form is fraction form, because then you know how to simplify fractions. So the first thing I'm going to do is 8.1 over 10. Now, we can't simplify that by anything, but it is not common for ratios to contain decimals. So we are going to get rid of the decimal. Well, to make 8.1 not a decimal, I could multiply it by 10, because then it would make it 81. Well, if I multiply the top by 10, you also have to multiply the bottom by 10. So 81 over 100, which cannot be simplified. Part B, $46 to $102. So again, I'm going to start out by writing it as a fraction. First of all, this is a thing about ratios. They will never have units because their units will just basically cancel out. Now to start simplifying the numbers. I know 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 46 23 times, and 2 goes into 102 51 times. So the simplified ratio is 23 to 51. Now with example 3, it's the same directions, but remember how in B I said the units will cancel out in a ratio? That is because the units have to be the same. So when we do 9 feet to 2 yards, we need to convert one to feet or the other to yards. What I'm going to do is convert the 9 feet to yards, and then I'll convert the yards to feet and see a relationship. So the first thing I have to do is 9 feet equals how many yards? Well, I know there's 3 feet per yard, so that means 3 yards. So that means we have 3 yards to 2 yards. And then if we write it as a fraction, we get 3 over 2. Now, I'm going to convert the yards to feet. So that would leave us with 9 feet to, well, since there's 3 feet to a yard, 2 yards would be 6 feet. Then that would be 9 over 6, which if I reduce it by 3, 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 6 2 times, which equals 3 halves. Oh, we got the same fraction both times. And that'll happen with ratios. It doesn't matter which one you convert to make them equal, both ways will give you the same answer. Okay. Now we'll move on to rates. Rates are a special kind of ratio and the fact that their units don't cancel out. An example that you see every day is miles per hour. That is a rate. So write each rate as a fraction in simplest form. So, like I said, the units aren't going to cancel out, so we do need to include the units. So 12 tables for 24 students. 12 tables for 24 students. Well, I know 12 goes into 12 once, and 12 goes into 24 twice. So that means one table for every 2 students in simplest form. Okay. Now part B, 4 inches of rain in 18 hours. So 4 inches in 18 hours. Well, I know 4 can be reduced by 2, so can 18. 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 18 9 times. So that's 2 inches every 9 hours. And that's that fraction in the simplest form. So like I said, a rate is a ratio where the units are included because they aren't the same. Now we have some special kind of rates. We have unit rate and unit price. Well, unit rate is just where the denominator equals 1, where you have like miles per hour. It's how many miles in 1 hour. That's a unit rate. So write example 5 right as a unit rate. We have 275 miles in 11 hours. So how do we convert this to a unit rate? How can I get this to be 1? Well, all you have to do is the long division required. So 275 divided by 11. Does 11 go into 2? No. Then does 11 go into 27? Yes. How many times? Twice. 2 times 11 is 22. 27 minus 22 is 5. Drop down the 5. Does 11 go into 55? Yes. 5 times. 5 times 11 is 55. Subtract them, 0. So our unit rate for 275 miles in 11 hours is 25 miles per hour. That kind of sucked going 25 miles per hour for 11 hours. Now, all unit prices is the same as a unit rate, but dealing with money, of course. Like, it's $3.72 per gallon right now. That per 1 gallon is a unit price. And you see how the money comes first, $372 per 1 gallon. Then the item you're buying comes second. So when we do example 6, find the unit price. 3 apples cost 87 cents. So this ratio is not 3 over 87, because like I said, the money has to come first. The ratio is 0.87 over 3 apples. So if I go over here and do the long division, 0.87 divided by 3, that's the only mistake, is sometimes you have to switch it because it's out of order of how we've been doing the other examples. So now for the division. Does 3 go into 0? No. Don't forget to bring your decimal point up exactly where it is. Does 3 go into 8? Yes. How many times? Twice. 2 times 3 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Drop the 7. Does 3 go into 27? Yes. 9 times. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 minus 27 is 0. So what that means is that these apples are 29 cents per apple. That's it for ratios and rates. Thank you.